All right, everybody, welcome. Adam Freeman for HNS Radio. I've got the Coaches Spotlight of the week. It is head coach Luqman Salam, first-year head coach Luqman Salam here with the Hoyas. Coach Salam, thanks for joining us so early in the morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we were just talking a second ago about the unique situation that occurred this past weekend, your opening game, home opener. Aside from all that craziness that went on, it was obviously a special moment for you. How good did that feel once it finally was over and you had the win?
Well, just winning is always a good thing. It always feels good, and losing always feels bad. But there's a big build-up to the beginning of a season. And all of the things that you do all summer and all the things that you do all spring all kind of seem to culminate into that first game. And you get a chance to really get a good glimpse of what kind of team you have and what you can look forward to for the rest of the season. So even more so than just getting the win, getting out there, seeing the guys run around and compete at a high level, that's what really makes you feel good, that you've got a group of guys that will compete and fight and play together. And I think we've got that, and so very pleased with the result.
As far as, a lot of people may not know, who have not been around Cobb County, may not know a lot about your, how you got here. Give us a little bit of sort of like your beginnings, like what got you into coaching, how did you sort of like move and get to this point?
Well, interesting enough, I never intended to coach. But when I got out of college, my position coach in college was in the Cobb County area recruiting, and he bumped into a coach named Coach Chuck Goddard, and he said, "Hey, if you got any young guys that are looking for a job, I'd love to hire someone." And he called me and said, "Hey, this guy is looking for a coach. You need to go coach." He knew I was trying to become a teacher, and it's in your old neck of the woods in Cobb County. Ironically enough, when I went to the school and met the coach, the principal there was my old principal.
Oh, wow.
And then he basically said, "Hey, you're taking this job." And so from there, I got started in the coaching. I've been in Cobb County ever since. I'm in my 21st year of teaching and coaching, and it's been a joy of the heart.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, it's got to be something that it moves you. Yes. It really does. As far as that goes, how would you describe your coaching philosophy, and has it changed over the years?
It definitely. I don't know about change. I would say it's evolved, and I know that's a form of change. But when I really think about my philosophy is that I consider myself to be in the kid experience business. More so than winning and losing, we're here to create an experience for these young men that's lasting, that's something that they're going to have forever, that they're going to be able to use as a perspective to make decisions in their life. And so for me, I put that above almost everything. Try to preserve this experience as something positive and special for these young men. And I think if you do that, you're going to create these relationships with these young men that are going to mean something, and that's special. It's going to be special to you. You're going to be able to realize you're having wonderful moments when you're having wonderful moments. And it's going to make your overall experience something very special. The winning and the losing, it comes and goes. It happens and it doesn't happen. But I think that if you put your focus on getting the young men to understand that they're a part of something bigger than themselves, that they are working for other people and in service of other people and in service of their teammates, and you can try to develop some true love between one another, you can create a real special time in those young men's lives.
Yeah, I can actually already, just from interacting with some of the kids, talking to them, that there's been a shift, and they seem to have a much different approach to even just practice and everything. And of course, it culminated on Friday night with a great result. What is your, game days? I love game days because for obvious reasons, right? From even back when I was an athletic trainer, there are certain things about it that I loved. And now broadcasting, things I love about it. What's your favorite part of game days? Because it is stressful on the coach.
It is stressful. I think once that ball hits that foot for the kickoff and it's on, and it's time to really get down to business and see what you can do. And at that point in time, everybody, from the fans, the parents, the band, everybody right now is focused on that little pigskin ball. and
so much attention.
And so many other things about life in the world have faded away, and it's just about the game. And before that, there's a lot of stuff going on. But then all of a sudden, that moment happens, and everybody gets focused on just the experience that they're having in the game and the enjoyment, the ups and downs, the different little emotions that this game is creating. But people are focused in on that, and so there's that respite away from everything else in the world, and it's just football. And so I enjoy that.
Yeah. Do you think that the average football fan would be amazed if they followed you around on a game day?
Yeah.
Like all the different things that you have to handle as a head coach, like they would understand that answer to that question if they were around you just prior to that.
Yeah,
all the
absolutely.
paperwork, the management, the everything that it entails. And I think they would be surprised how much goes into all they have to do is come and watch
Right.
the kickoff and the foot. Like everything that went into just getting to that moment, I think would surprise a lot of people. We talked about the win on Friday. That's obviously how you want to start off at home. What do you think the potential is for this team?
As a coach, you try to get your players to just focus at one moment at a time, one day at a time, one game at a time. But I think this team has a lot of potential. I think considering our schedule and considering what we have on both sides of the ball, we've got a really good blend of maturity as well as youth. And we've got playmakers on both sides of the football, got key players on both sides. So who knows? I definitely think that this is a playoff caliber team. And I think that if we're playing our best football and we're healthy, when the playoffs roll around, we could make a really good, a deep run.
Yeah, I have that sense as well, especially, looking at what we have sort of on the perimeter. Defensive line seemed to be strong, and secondary, watching Joel make plays on both sides of the ball, that was exciting. As far as you individually, obviously you don't get to be a head football coach without having played sports growing up. In your entire life, what is your favorite sports moment individually?
Wow, that's
accomplishment, or just like maybe a game or a play or something like that.
It's hard to kind of pinpoint. I played a game called team handball.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to play on the junior national team as well as the national team. And we played in Moscow, Russia in the World Youth Games in 1998. And we played Russia. And it was the first time that an American team had played in Russia since they were denied playing in the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And so, team handball is really big in Russia. So we played in front of 20,000 people in Moscow, and the people screamed the entire game. And it was so loud that literally we could not hear one another on the court, standing right next to each other. And so going out into that environment, and it was in a hockey arena. We played in a hockey arena, so the sound really reverberated. I think they did that purposely.
Oh, yeah.
But it's such a favorite moment of mine because, I'm like this little kid from Detroit, Michigan, who found his way standing in Moscow, Russia, playing some wacky game. And I was kind of like, how does this happen? And so it's one of my favorite moments because it's kind of indicative of you never know where you're going to be and what you're going to get an opportunity to do. Just keep going, keep living, and special things just find you. And so I hold on to that moment as like a really special moment in my sports career.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, also kind of going back to in your growing up, you said, you grew up in Detroit. I was a huge Barry Sanders fan growing up. And we'll end with this. Who's your favorite athlete growing up and why?
You hit it. It's Barry Sanders. Like just being from Detroit, I just thought Barry Sanders was just everything. I love Barry Sanders. So he was my favorite that I got a chance to watch. But in terms of an athlete that has meant the most to me is Muhammad Ali. Just Muhammad Ali and what he represented and who he was to me, and his story and everything. He's my favorite athlete.
Yeah, I still get chills watching him light the torch in Atlanta. It's incredible. Well, Coach Salam, I appreciate you spending some moments with us this morning, and wish you guys a lot of luck tomorrow night as you travel over to Wheeler. We'll be there broadcasting starting at 7 o'clock on HNS Radio. And everybody, that's Coach Luqman Salam. Coach, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.